robust urban garlic flavor.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Robust Urban Garlic TV, where DSP tries to convince the Asmongold tourist that he's never going to talk about the detractors again because they tell him to, and yet he continues to do so in 18-minute long rants practically every day. They're sure going to love this the 30th time they hear it. Alright, so here's Phil to rant with you more.
I have no idea, Andrew. I don't pay attention to them. You're asking the wrong person. I don't pay any attention to my detractors. All I know is people who come on here and say stuff about them. I don't watch their content. I don't give a
I mean, in most cases, why would he? Because he refuses to edit, and a lot of them are just raw clips of him. The funny thing is that he's been making his thumbnails recently to kind of imitate detractor content of his. But it's like, why don't you just take Duty Stream's videos and put them on your channel, or anybody else's? They're shorter, so they get more interest in them because they're not raw gameplay garbage. What are the detractors gonna do? Copyright strike your copyright when you already have the timestamp proving that you put it up live first, and you have Kick too, so even if they try, you have a backup where you can just stream on Kick for a few days.
I'll guarantee you this. It's been a week now since the Asmongold interview, correct? I've gotten tremendous extra viewership on my streams. As you can see, if you just take a look at the views right now, I'm pretty much double what I was getting. Like, no exaggeration. I'm about double the viewership that I had before Asmongold, for sure. Okay? Support has been great, has it not? Every stream I'm doing incredibly well, okay? Couldn't be happier. I haven't asked for a single contribution since I got off the stream with Asmongold. So it's been a week.
Wow, the e-begging addict is gloating that he hasn't e-begged in a week, even though he complained about the chair stream not going to get a lot of support because it's not what he usually does. That's still e-begging, Phil.
Right? So what exactly do you think they're talking about? Do you think if they're saying something that they're talking about reality? Or do you think that they're just talking about their useless, nonsensical memes, their garbage content that completely lies, over-exaggerates?
Phil, in most cases, the memes are just jokes. Okay, get that through your head. That is the big thing there, okay? Yeah, people looking to make content out of you failing to get money this past week have been fed nothing, but people still looking for rants, yeah, there's still stuff out there like this one. And that's what you don't get. You provide entertainment regardless because you can't help yourself from avoiding the drama.
Because in their minds, as I explained to Asmongold, whenever I do something to improve myself, they just move the goalpost to the next thing. So if it's not that my content sucks and I don't have the best quality content, I'm a dinosaur, I'm behind the times. If it's not that I rage too much, I blame the game developers, all of that. If it's not that I'm playing mobile games and spending all my money on WWE champions. If it's not that, oh, well, now he just sits around and begs all day. So what's the next thing? Because you know there's a next thing. There will never not be a next thing.
Well, Phil, you gotta remember you keep all those things in constant, steady supply. So even if you want to say that you've changed, which you've been doing for years, you haven't really changed. You just have circumstances around you that are impacting you either positively or negatively. Right now, we are on a upswing of Philip Burnell success. But will it last? Probably not. And when it does, you're gonna crash out really hard. Like, what you don't get, Phil, is that most of those things, particularly the ones involving money, are a gold mine for poking fun at you. It just is. If you rolled with the punches and laughed at it earlier in your career, you would have been much better off.
That's how they are. But for me, I don't care. I'm already on to my better life for a whole week now. I don't have to worry about anything. I just chill with you guys and have a great time every day, and I'm happy. So why do I give a crap what they're doing to cope for the fact that now I have changed for the better, and all the things that they have said are bullshit, and there's nothing else for them to really have a gripe with? That there's 5 million other people out there that are far worse than me, that are doing things right now that they should not agree with, yet they're still making content about me, right? Like, why would I care?
Yeah, guys, everybody is worse than me, so I shouldn't be held accountable for anything I do. I'm on to my better life. I love how he phrases it. He thinks it's gonna last forever, or at least he's pretending to, because we all know it's not gonna last. Come on. He's trying to convince us so hard that he doesn't care that he's ranting about it for 18 minutes. Sounds like a guy who really does care.
Let them make their content, and I don't care at all about what they say and do.
Cool, people will be holding you to that pledge, Phil.
You know, that's it. Don't give a... None of their criticisms are valid, so why do I give it? You guys, if you want to criticize me and say, hey, let's improve this way or that way, I'll listen to you. I ain't going to listen to these people who they benefit by saying that I'm bad in some way. Because then what's their benefit to ever having me improve? There is none. They want me to be this joke so they can make money, right? Make their videos. So I don't listen to their... I don't give a...
Here's the thing you are missing, Phil. You are the poster child for this is how you don't stream. Like, the biggest criticisms that commentary channels have of you is to stop e-bagging, stop guilting your fans to giving you money, and stop ranting about random things that don't matter like the detractors. But you do all those three things and you refuse to stop doing so according to you, it's not valid.
And if you don't want me to ever talk about them again, don't ever ask about them and I won't talk about them again. Because you notice I don't unless you guys ask me. So... if you don't want to talk about it, don't ask me about it.
Ah, well, we do have an issue there because a significant amount of your audience wants to hear you talk about detractors because they think they're in a civil war against the detractors. So they're going to bring it up because you just playing games and being chill is boring.
I like retro gaming, and I've thought about doing retro gaming streams. We never put anything regularly into the schedule. For example, we have... had times where I'll do a marathon of Mega Man. We did that 3 times this year, and we actually beat Mega Man 1 through 7, and we were just about finished Mega Man 8, and we ran out of time. Okay? I would like to do another Mega Man marathon next year where we finish 8 and we do 9 and 10. Okay? When the Genesis Mini came out many years ago, I actually did a series of streams where I played the classic Sonics, some of the other older games that were on there, and those did well. A couple summers ago, I actually did a Castlevania run where I played Castlevania 1 through 4, and that was super exciting. That was fun. But is it a regular thing in my schedule? No, it's not at all. It's just something that we'll do casually from time to time if we feel like it. But, you know, I really, if you want to know the truth, it's because, quite frankly, my audience, and when I say my audience, I mean my audience that I've had for years, not this newfound audience that I got in the last week.
Yeah, my audience of loyal 5 whales that give me money that determines whether I hit the goal or not every single day.
But my audience generally don't like watching me play retro games. And that, for me, it is disappointing because I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up in the 80s, but I was playing gaming in the 90s and as a teenager.
Yeah, that's very common for people to associate their formative years with the decade after they were born because they have more memories of that decade after, unless you were born like in year 0 or year 1, where it's like, okay, that's 9 to 19 instead of saying like 7 where you're 3 to 13.
My formative years of gaming were based around games like Final Fantasy 4 and 6, Chrono Trigger, Zelda, Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Street Fighter 2, right? These are the games I grew up absolutely loving. And I would love to play these games for a modern audience. But whenever I try, I don't get much interest.
When he means interest, he means money from his whales.
Case in point, it was 2-3 years ago, I played Chrono Trigger because I was just absolutely craving this game. And I played it. I loved it. The playthrough didn't do good. I still played the whole thing, but it's now twice I've played Chrono Trigger, and I said, well, if the playthrough does well, then I'll go back and I'll do all the alternate endings. We'll actually unlock all the optional content or whatever. It never works. It's like, I'll just do the base game, and people get bored and stop showing up, and I'm like, oh, it's frustrating.
Phil, you may not have figured it out, but that happens with 99% of your playthroughs. The only one that is doing recently that bucks that trend is Pokemon Legends ZA, and that probably only happened because you had your stupid resurgence with Asmongold. Get it? You're boring. People don't want to see 100-hour playthroughs anymore. You gotta give them edited content that people want to see, and yet you refuse that because you think, oh, my content is awesome. People don't want to see that. They want to see raw gameplay. That's what they're really looking for. No.
Same thing happened with Claire Obscure this year, where I love the game. hands down game of the year contender for me. Not saying it's going to be my game of the year, but it's a game of the year contender for me. I get to Act 3. Everyone's like, just finish the game and stop playing it. We don't want to show up anymore. We're tired of this game. Play anything else. And I'm like, sucks because I love this game. I want to actually do all the content and unlock it, and I couldn't.
Yeah, that was funny because he was consistently getting $20 to $50 streams, and he kept whining all the time about it because he's like, guys, I want to play this game. Why aren't you paying me for it? Yeah, Phil, you gotta entertain. Just playing the game does not make you entertaining.
Now, with this newfound audience, you guys are committing to come by and hang out and support it. I'm going to play more Clair Obscur this month. I can't wait to go back to Clair Obscur this month, quite frankly. I'm just really excited for it.
You have pledged to give $5,000 to DSP for his garbage game playthrough. Congratulations. I hope your piggy bank is filled because he's going to empty it. It would be hilarious if the Asmongold wave died down by then when he starts playing it and his regular whales are like, yeah, I'm not even keeping up the facade for this game. Like, Phil, you gotta strike when the iron is hot. You spend your time wasting away about stupid finances and detractor rants which these Asmongold tourists won't care about. But let's be real, you didn't really want 7,000 new people. You just hope for like 2 or 3 more whales that would come over because it's like size of scale.
So I'm excited for the future where I can have more people watch me play the kind of stuff that I like rather than me be limited to always playing new game, because that's kind of how it's almost always been. If I'm not playing something new, it doesn't really get attention.
Yeah, that has been the MO for Phil for years, and that just shows you how terrible of a live streamer he is, because he has such a small audience that you would think, hey, they really must love what he's doing. No, they only want to see him play new games. They don't want to see him play anything he's really interested in. Go figure. I remember how he was talking so positively about the support given to him from Suikoden 2 and 1, and how his fans would rally to support whatever game he plays, and then he had to wage quit Suikoden 2, pretending that he's going to pick it up some other time.
Thank you to Mr. Member. Good to see you today. $10 super chat. He says, here's a vote for some emulated retro games. Thank you, Mr. Member. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but don't worry. He won't take your contribution into account when he's actually playing the games, because if the support is soft, he's done.
The way I see it, the future is bright and the sky's the limit. As long as we got people that are along for the ride, I can do whatever I want, right? So, yeah, I'm excited.
Wow, as long as we got people who are going to support me financially, I can continue to live stream. What a novel concept, Phil. You're telling me you didn't have this for years, even though we know you did because you have tons of whales? Come on. Only Ice Coffee is going to be really upset because he can't dictate what games you play anymore.
G-Man, in general, I have stayed away from doing user interactive content simply because my trolls are so bad they ruin it.
Yeah, he has to use these stupid weird terms that nobody knows. He's just talking about co-op gameplay, so he's not going to play games with his fans on stream.
I'll give you an example, because again, you guys probably would not know this. Way back in the day, we're talking 10 years ago, every single year, in December actually, it was around this time of year, I would actually do what I called the Fan Appreciation Series. All right? For about 2 weeks, I would do almost non-stop multiplayer lobbies, fan interactive events, and just generally fun stuff with my audience. So, you know, play some Battlefield together with a party that we all coordinate. Play some Call of Duty, play some Assassin's Creed multiplayer, play some fighting games, right? That kind of stuff. And it worked. It was great. For many years, we had a great time with it. And particularly, I remember when it finally fell apart, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 5 had a multiplayer mode. And I made the lobby, and half the lobby was trolls. So because of that, sadly, the people who actually wanted to play and had scheduled time in their schedules, logistically, keep in mind, I have an international viewer base. It's not like everyone's American and we're all here on the same times. Like, I had to figure out streaming times around when people would be there, when they could. I had slots set up, people showing up. You can play now, you can play now. We figured it all out, and we go to play it. The trolls completely ruin it for everyone. They're giving away position. They're teabagging. They're shooting guns wildly into the air, basically making it unplayable. Now imagine you're a fan of mine. You've been waiting years to be able to play with me. It finally gets coordinated. You go to play. The entire thing is ruined by trolls. How would you feel? Right?
Yeah, the guy who feeds the trolls on a silver platter on a daily basis is surprised that this happened. Mind you, this was the winter of 2015, I think, because he finished his playthrough September 2015. He's been trolled before This Is How You Don't Play and the Sons of Kojima. And like Phil, people weren't up on different time zones at 3 a.m. going to play multiplayer with you. They were sleeping. You make yourself such a big deal, like it's a huge thing where they're scheduling everything like you're going to a concert. No, that's not how it is. It's just stupid gamer stuff on the internet.
So after that, and again, it wasn't just that was every game. It ended up being Battlefield, it ended up being Call of Duty. They ruined all of them. And I said, there's no point in doing it anymore. I don't want to give them the opportunity to basically ruin so what's supposed to be a positive event for my viewers who like me. So I just stopped doing the events. And instead, I kind of stayed to myself doing single-player content. If I do multiplayer content, I'm just a random that drops into a lobby, plays, and drops out. I've found workarounds to stop the trolling as long as I don't do certain kinds of stuff. And even then, the times that I have attempted to do it, so for example, with Street Fighter, because you're even saying something like, would you play a Street Fighter tournament with your viewers? I've done lobbies, like Street Fighter lobbies, where I say anyone can join, here's the lobby. 9 times out of 10, it's some idiot. Their name is something insulting to myself or my family members, or it's doxing, something awful. I play them, I kick, and then what's the point? No one got anything out of that. They think that they got one up on me for having this messed up name on the screen, even though I whooped it. They're like, haha, mission accomplished. And it's like, so what did I do it for? And by the way, typically they don't do well. Like when I do those lobbies, it's not like I get attention and people are liking the content. It's more like, wow, Phil's just beating up on scrubs. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I whoop on them because they're not there to be good. They're there to get the attention for being there, you see?
Yeah, I like how Phil pretends that every troll out there is revealing the location of his live streaming. Snort for it. Yeah, Phil, you just find ways to complain about things because that's what you love doing at the end of the day. If you didn't feed the trolls wouldn't be around to troll you. I assure you of that. They would have moved on to somebody else. You perpetuate yourself as an eternal victim because that's what you love doing. You love to be the guy that collects pity because you think it has money attached to it. Yeah, the last time he accidentally left a chat open, somebody said, "Cat is fat, shout out to Raw Phil," and then Phil immediately shut down the thing. You know, that would have been a good time to tell everybody that Cat was on a health journey and losing weight instead of telling it after you got a resurgence, but what do I know?
I don't know. We got a couple of tips. We got a couple of super chats and things to shout out and add to the leaderboard. I just haven't had a chance. Get them explosive ammunition? How'd I do that?
Hey, Phil, beg more.
Look.
Oh, apparently there's voice chat in this.
You're not even tipsy. Come on, beg more, buddy.
Yeah, who is that? This Kohi guy?
Shout out ALT, shout out Raw Phil.
I don't know how to do voice chat in this. I had no idea there even was voice chat in this. There is? I had no idea. It's fine. So it does work. It does work and it runs well. So that's cool. And the only thing I'm bummed out is that my controller didn't work. I really wish the controller worked. Well, I hope I can find a way to make that work because I used to always play it on controller. It's actually annoying to play it on keyboard and mouse, but all right. Woo, good for him. I don't care. I wanted to do these shout outs anyway and switch over, so. But now we know it works. That's what's important. We know this works. We can play this again. I would like to maybe play this again. That's why I kind of just stopped doing that stuff. There was no point. I did it. I think it was a month of lobbies in Street Fighter 6 when the game was new. No one really liked it, and I stopped doing it, and that was the end of it.
From what I remember, you complained about not wanting to play Street Fighter because you did not enjoy the game because you were bad at it. You were ranting at your fans, yelling at them because they wanted bubbles to be blown because you promised them to blow bubbles if you hit 100 likes on your stream, which didn't really make much sense because you privated your streams afterwards in favor of on-demand videos that would get 5 likes.
No, you see, it's not. Copium says, yeah, but dumpstering trolls is fun from time to time. No, it's not. Listen, I have nothing to prove. All right? I don't.
Yet he sits here on his soapbox every single day and tries to convince us of stuff. Sounds like you have a lot to prove, Phil.
I've already won. I'm the one whose life is getting to play video games and hang out with an audience all day on the internet. That's my job. I've already beaten the trolls. The fact that they need to like do f***ed up things to try to take stabs at me because they're so jealous and off that I'm successful, I've already won. So I don't need to also defeat them in a game. There's no point. I don't get any self-satisfaction out of beating them in a fighting game. I already know I'm better. I don't need to waste my time.
You see here, Phil is a very successful e-beggar, so he doesn't have time for the gaming peasants and the trolls, but he's still gonna rant about them constantly.
You got exposed for doing that.
I got
that's
completely exposed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you did. You didn't even know the camera was guy?
You know,
Are you-
everything-
It's the guy watching his Twitch.
Is that really him? Is he the one that caught?
Yes.
Thank you to Raider Randy for $5. Do it anyway, even if there's trolls. Trolls can still be good content. Nah.
They can be if you're smart and willing to turn it into comedy, but Phil lacks the capacity to do that, so for him, he just has to endure the torture, and he's not going to do that. He just wants to be on easy street. He's not going to bend over backwards to entertain you. Instead, he's going to demand you entertain him by giving him tons of money.
No, you see, here's the thing, and this is where I differentiate myself from other people who have been categorized as lolcows, okay?
Phil, just because you don't consider yourself a lolcow doesn't mean you're not a lolcow. Practically every lolcow doesn't think he's a lolcow. That's why he is a lolcow.
And have done this kind of thing. There are tons of people out there, they get harassed, they're categorized as lolcows, and they lean into the content. They lean into it. Laugh with the meme, play with the troll, give them what they want, keep the circus going.
Phil, with a lot of those people, that only happens at the very tail end, if at all. Most of them are so not aware that they don't even realize that they're being trolled half the time. Like, the only person I can really think of on top of my head who this applies to is Boogie, and we all know that's why. It's because he's lazy and he's given up on practically everything. If he was as successful of an e-beggar as you are, he wouldn't be on Lolcow Live right now, because he'd be able to make money and he'd have a far bigger reach than you would.
Even self-deprecate yourself, embarrass yourself for money. As long as you're making a paycheck, it doesn't matter, right?
Phil, let me inform you of something. I don't think anybody else has ever told you this on the internet before. You are an entertainer. You are not a middle office manager. The reason why you take your streams as a middle office job is the reason why you are considered a lolcow, because, like, this guy isn't entertaining at all. He just wants to sit here and whine about not getting money and talking about how it's fancy to give him money. Like, come on, that's not entertaining, man.
Where are we at for the week? Let's talk about the schedule, the goals, and all of that, shall we? We are at 36 out of 40 goals attained. When we attain 40 goals, it is time for a radical pizza party, dudes. We're going to have a pizza party. Are we going to do Domino's, Pizza Hut, or Papa John's? All right? I'm going to eliminate another pizza right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am eliminating Pizza Hut. I've eliminated Pizza Hut. That's right, you can't even look at me right now because I'm such an evil villain. Exactly. I'm such a heinous individual. Everything I do just exudes toxicity and negativity, and you can't stand to look at me for a second. I know. So it's going to be a choice between Domino's and Papa John's, all right? Two unique places, all right? One of them, probably the longest running one in America, Domino's. I remember that ever since I was a kid. They were the big fast food delivery pizza place. They do various different kinds of pizza, like the hand-tossed style, the New York style, the thin crust style, and they have various appetizers. So if we get Domino's, I'll probably get a regular pizza, a specialty pizza, and an appetizer. If I get Papa John's, I'll probably end up getting like a stuffed crust, a regular crust, and then an appetizer, okay? And you might say, well, when is this going to be? Because we want to know when to be there. I don't know. I would like to tell you exactly when it's going to be, but I don't know simply because it depends on when we hit our goals. 2 goals hit today, 2 goals hit tomorrow, and we're doing the pizza party on Wednesday. Okay? It could take longer. It could be Thursday. It could be Friday. All right? And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not controlling that. It's basically you guys. So whenever you want this stuff to happen, all right, let's get it going with support. It's that simple. Okay? So the sooner the better. Let's hit some goals. All right? Thank you guys so much in advance. Definitely let's hit the goal. We already got a great head start. Let's hit the goal today. Let's get closer to the pizza party. I can't wait to lock it in and be like, we're doing the pizza party. It's going to be fun.
There's a saying that I started saying last year in regards to this mentality. Okay?
Oh, looky here. He's making up his own sayings now. Surely they are words of wisdom.
Once you put the clown makeup on, it never washes off. What does that mean? It means that once you lower yourself to the level of being a lolcow and you accept it, and now this becomes your reality, your persona. This is you on the internet, so just lean into it. You can't ever go back. Now, you have to do lolcow content, or else you can never get success ever again.
No, Phil, you're entirely missing the point. People become lolcows because they are clowns and they can't help themselves. Leaning into it does not mean they can't escape it. If they lean into it, odds are they can get their way out of it because they're self-aware enough to realize, hey, these are the things that I need to do to either make money, or if I want to get out of it, I can get out of it. In your case, and a lot of other lolcow cases like Boogie, you all can't dig your way out of it because you don't know how to, or you don't want to. In your case, you can't stop begging or pleading for money or demanding and ranting about detractors because those things are programmed into you and you think they make you money. You are a clown. You just try to put on concealer to hide it and it doesn't work.
You might have once been known as someone who made news reports, vlogging, gameplay, chill streams. But the moment that you become this monetized the lolcow status, that is all you will ever be for the rest of your life, and you have to accept it or quit.
I like how all of the examples he uses are of him. Phil, you've become the lolcow, you just haven't accepted it. Everything you do on stream is either boring or lolcow content. You either stop begging or you have to quit. Congratulations, Phil, you really made it to the big time. You're not surviving out of entertaining people because your content is good. You're surviving because people get a kick out of looking at you and laughing at you because you're a joke and people take pity on you as well. You are stuck in that lolcow rut, my friend.
There's people who are learning that the hard way right now. And it's sad because I feel bad for these people who maybe got into something they didn't realize they were getting into, and now they're stuck.
Phil, Boogie knew exactly what he was getting into in the first place. He knew it was going to be a complete disaster. He just didn't want to be entertaining anymore, and he didn't know how to. He lost what the point of it was. So he decided to let Keemstar take the reins. That's all it was.
And they try so hard, and they don't know what's going on. Like, well, you know, think about it. You entertained the trolls. You gave them what they wanted. You took their money. You took their attention. But now that's all you'll ever get for the rest of your life.
Like, he does not get that he would be in the same boat as everybody else if he didn't have a cult of 5 whales that constantly gave him money. Phil, you give the trolls everything, and they don't give you money in return. Or maybe some of them do, we just don't know it because they don't tell us, and maybe they're whales. Maybe only his coffee is a troll. Who knows? You don't get that in return. You give them everything they want, and you're not monetizing them. So you're arguably in a worse position. You only survive because you manipulate people. Like, a lot of his fans really think he can't do anything besides YouTube, and he's conditioned them to believe that his financial issues are their problem when it's not.
For me, I've been the one who staunchly fights against it. I don't care what you call me. I'm still going to be legit. I'm still going to make positive content that my viewers are going to be entertained by and support. Therefore, you can call me whatever you want, and you can make up the slander and the memes or whatever. I'm not going to buy into your garbage. I'm going to be successful on my own means by making content that doesn't hurt others or leave toxicity and garbage and just this slop on the internet.
Sure, Phil, you don't have to buy into anybody memes about anything. The thing what you should be doing is just rolling with the punches and laughing at it. That would have made you very successful if you were able to take a joke, but since you are completely unable to, you have to cope by doing these rants, which I think is what people really enjoy. And I'm sure people pay for it handily, because otherwise, what are they supporting? You playing games lousily and boring as watching paint dry? No. They're there for the lolcow antics. You just don't realize it because you're so dense. And you think people are giving you money because they really, really, really enjoy the gameplay. Are you sure, Phil? Are you sure?
Why do you guys always try to start? I mean, I should read this because it's entertaining. Dirty Birdie says, Rich of Review Tech USA is watching you literally live right now. He's acting like he's better than you, even though he ate his daughter's eyes and he tried to take out a credit card in his father's name.
So because I'm doing something differently, better than everyone else, and you can't make fun of me for it, you're mad. Too bad. Go jump off a cliff, because that's about the value that you have if that's the kind of person you want to be. You're a toxic individual on the internet who only cares when someone's in suffering and misery. That's up. Seriously, what is wrong with you if that's your mentality?
Now, can we get support? Because this is it. We're in the last 20 minutes of the stream, guys. So support would be very appreciated. So we don't end the stream at $50 for 2 nights in a row. That would really suck if 2 nights in a row, for some reason, the late stream is really slow. I know it's funny that we get insults and kind of stuff from Kick, but we get no subs and no legit support, so I don't know what's going on. 2 nights in a row, you tell me I'm not going to get any support from Kick, huh? 2 nights in a row. Yeah, that bitch usually did a sub at the beginning of the stream, and that was it. Like, I'm serious. Take a look at this leaderboard right now, okay? 1 sub from... That's usually free. Okay? We had 1 or 2 people who did 100 kicks. That's it. So literally on Kick tonight, I made less than $10. So what am I streaming over there for? People used to be supportive over there. Now it's like they just want to troll. And like I said, I think turning on those messages for moral support was actually a legit mistake. Because now people are just going to do that and joke around and laugh that they're not supporting. So I'm just going to turn it off. Instead, my playthroughs are still going to be there for years to come. So if someone wants to see Heavy Rain from 2010, they can see it. If someone wants to see me play Arc Raiders from 2025, they can still see it. And that gameplay is legit. It's meaningful. It's not harmful. And it's a fun experience to watch no matter when you watch it. It's not just pertinent to the moment where I decided to cash in on a lolcow joke. Instead, it's actual good content. You see?
Phil, the internet does not agree with you. I know there are a lot of small channels that don't get a lot of views, but you are a big channel with 200,000 plus subscribers who consistently gets about 500 to 1,000 views per gameplay. Your content is not that unique. It is very run-of-the-mill. It is what channels that have like 10 subscribers put up constantly. You do not understand that. You have to constantly say, hey, my content is golden. It is the best experience you will ever have. When it's really a man staring angrily at the screen for 2 to 3 hours, wondering where the money is coming in. So yeah, people can go back and watch it, but YouTube is not going to recommend it to people on their home pages because they know the viewership that watches you has poor retention time. So it's like, why bother showing it to new people if your audience of diehards is not going to even watch it? And there's a huge problem there because it's sloppy seconds. People aren't going to watch the same video twice if it's an hour long, Phil. They only do that for like comedy vids. So it's like 3.
You can look at my body of work for 17 years, and you can argue that early on I was kind of extreme with the way that I did commentary, sure. But you'd be really hard-pressed to look at my content and be like, Phil made toxic, harmful content to the internet to get over. He stepped on people to get where he was. He did horrible things to himself and others. No, I never did.
Phil, you constantly ranted about game devs and questioned their intelligence and said that their games are garbage constantly. Yeah, this guy is exhausting in that he never stops talking about his past. Just move on.
I stepped away from that. I avoided it. I said, I refuse. So that's the difference between me and these other people. Maybe these other people would think, well, the only way I can get money or attention is to do the lobby and have a bunch of trolls in it. I'm not going to do the lobby. F the trolls. I'm not going to give them anything. They don't deserve it. They didn't do it for me. So why am I going to do them a solid or a favor? You know what I mean?
Phil, it's not about doing trolls a favor. It's about making entertaining content. That's what you don't get. Like, this stuff is going to drive people away. You don't understand that talking about people who criticize you constantly and try to mess with your streams is going to be exhausting for your audience. But it soothes you, so you continue to do it like the idiot you are.
I could have capitalized and tried to bank, but then I would be the joke forever. I don't want to be the joke. I want to be a serious creator like I've always worked hard to do. 17 years, over 68,000 videos. That's my legacy.
And that's why you're a joke. You play video games. You don't offer anything besides entertainment. That's what you don't realize. And you fail to provide that entertainment so many times. That's your issue, you dum-dum. People look at this guy and say, hey, this guy's a joke. Let's just laugh at him because he's ridiculous. He takes himself too seriously, so that'll be fun to mess with.
Not the dunce content some mouth-drooling morons made to capitalize on the algorithm, make a buck on my back by lying about me. That's not meaningful content. That's the slop that melts brains, and the people who watch it are dumb as
Phil, like it or not, that is actually your fan base, and they outnumber your dents 1,000 to 1. Your issue is that you were never able to monetize them. If you had been able to do that, you wouldn't be stuck on level 1 like you are right now.
Okay? Me, I'm going to make meaningful content that people can come back and like no matter what. Maybe actually enjoy games and have a good time. All right?
Phil, the issue is you post way too much, so people won't be able to go back and watch all of it. They want highlights. How do you not understand this is beyond me? You're not only lazy, you're stupid in that you post all those videos instead of leaving your live streams up.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
That's who I aspire to be. Maybe I won't ever get there. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I'm going to keep working on it. I'm not going to give up. You know?
Dude, you've been at this for 16 plus years and it hasn't been happening. You got to throw in the towel and do something else. If that's what you really want to be, if doing this is making you miserable. But I think you're very happy collecting money, and I don't think you care about the quality of your content. I think you're so full of yourself that you just sleeping or snorting into the mic for an hour, you think 1 million people want to watch that. That's not the case.
So, yeah, the fan lobby, I love doing it. Like, I would love interacting with fans and having a good time. How can I do that when all I'm doing is feeding the trolls? Just like people who say, well, if your wife's doing better, why doesn't she come on stream? Because it doesn't matter how my wife's doing. It doesn't matter if my wife is much healthier now and happier and comes on stream. They will still say nasty things about my wife because that's all they want is ammo, fuel for them to make more content. So why give it to them?
Yeah, Phil, most of the things said about your wife are just to get you. And no, it wouldn't be giving ammo if Kat came on stream for 5 seconds and revealed that she lost a ton of weight. It wouldn't. It wouldn't provide the trolls more ammo if it was revealed that Kat was actually still in the house. It wouldn't. He's a control freak that can't have anybody else on his stream because he will freak out and fear that they will say something that pierces his narrative.
I refuse. Let them sit and spin and be upset that for the last week they have nothing. All they can do is go back to their old shtick of nonsense that it does not apply anymore. And I'm happy moving forward with my life. And Jasper Kitty agrees. That's why he's up here right now.
Yeah, one random month that happens once in a blue moon and suddenly Phil thinks his life has turned around so much for the better. I can't wait for next month when he realizes the money is going to dry up and all the gifted memberships he got are going to be gone.
Thank you so much to Critique for $2. It says, respect for the self-respect. Exactly. I need to be able to respect myself and the content that I put out to be able to get out of bed every day and come on this stream and make more content. I can't be a person who hates who I am and what I do because I would not want to do this for a job anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Phil, I know exactly what you're saying, and I know you're not being truthful here. You don't like playing video games. You only like receiving money. You only play video games because you think it's the only thing that will get people to give you money. Besides, you know, the pity. It's just a means to the end for you.
I don't want to be someone who just punches a clock and puts in hours to print a paycheck for myself and my family. I actually want to think that the content I'm making is worthwhile and worth the time I put into it. You see?
If you really wanted that, you would have to edit your content because what you have is not what people want to see. That's fine for a live stream audience if you were actually entertaining on it, but it's not for somebody who wants to see it the day after. They want highlights. Even sports have figured this out where they're like, okay, we're not going to show you the full 3-hour game. We're just going to put a 15-minute highlight reel if you missed it. How you don't understand this is beyond me. You were just trying to prop yourself up as someone who actually makes stuff that people enjoy instead of somebody who's just a greedy panhandler, and we can all see through it.
And also that it's not slop that's brain rotting the world, because that's the problem. All of this nasty, toxic, hater, detractor content is brain slop that's melting the brains of the world. It really is. It's actually hurting human culture. There should not be a cultural movement to hate on people and on people and bully people on the internet. That should be what we rally against. Say, don't do that. That's terrible. That's for dumb people. That's for horrible people. That's not what nice, aspiring people who want to help and improve human society should be doing. But I don't know why people think it's just so fun and acceptable. It doesn't make sense at all. It shouldn't be. We should be calling this out and drawing attention to it and exposing these communities for what they are. Toxic, awful things that are actually, ruining human existence. Let's see here. This is probably a troll.
Phil, you know this is just a big joke like reality TV. How you not see it there is why you failed on the internet, because you want to be seen as a serious gamer guy. Yeah, Phil, there really isn't much serious about playing games on the internet. I'm sorry, there's not. You would have been much better off with an office job than doing this, because you somehow stumbled your way into this and it's not a fulfilling lifestyle for you. We can all tell it. The amount of times you spend complaining, even though you like complaining, just shows you're not happy. You're only happy when you receive money from people. That's just how it is. So go cry harder when this support dries up and they get bored of listening to your nonsense, because they've told you already so many times not to talk about the detractors, yet you can't help yourself. You love talking about the detractors, and it will be your downfall once again, because these people just want to be entertained, and you ranting on your stupid soapbox is not going to entertain them. You know what they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and DSP will continue to do the same thing. Doesn't matter how old he is, he'll be in his 60s, still whining and begging for money on the internet. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth analysis of DSP's ranting about detractors to scare away the Asmongold tourists because he only wants the pay pigs. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. This is Robust, turning off the station.